All right, man. Well, burned about 10 minutes here talking about bullshit. So let's talk about some sports stuff. Hard Knocks aired last night. I know you're a busy guy. I don't know if you got a chance to watch the episode, but I'm sure you probably caught up on Twitter, if not.
I've seen a little bit here and there. I've gotten up to 3. I guess 4 came out. Last night. Yeah, I haven't seen 4 yet. But I know Gruden's still pushing Peterman, from what I can tell.
Let me tell you this.
Fanboyed out.
Yeah, he sure did. It was the funniest thing. So they played a game in Winnipeg this week, and they only took some of the team there. By the way, if we had the YouTube studio set up at this point, I would totally get a red T-shirt, tape on a number 4, and just cut the sleeves off and just do a whole segment of me baby oiling my arms for Derek Carr, the Derek Carr impersonation. But nah, man, he's Gruden's out there. They left some of the team. They still weren't really playing a lot of their starters. Green Bay's been resting Aaron Rodgers, the whole camp. It's kind of a weird preseason, Sam. We saw since Sean McVay took over, he's really been resting the big studs there, and
right.
And we're seeing a lot of the NFL now. They're really they used to play 3 quarters in preseason game 3, and now a lot of the starters played 2 drives. So it's kind of a weird thing. I think what this means is that for week 1, we're going to see a lot of sloppy football for 1 to 2 weeks, because we're going to see a lot of rust on these quarterbacks, and right. I think the defense. I think we're going to see lower scoring games. I would say on average, I'd probably bet the under. But maybe Vegas. I haven't looked at any of the week 1 lines yet, at least in terms of overall over and under and all that stuff. But yeah, we'll figure that out. What else? Okay. So that they almost didn't play the game because there was some field issues, some turf issues there. But that's good. They played it. And then your boy Nate Peterman, or I should say Gruden's boy. He played well, man. I saw in the first episode, the first preseason game, Glennon didn't look that good to me. Peterman looks good, and Gruden to me seems to be crabbing at his other coaches. I think his other coaches like Glennon, and he's like, you always say Peterman can't play. Put Peterman in, and Peterman did pretty well. So I still think Peterman's going to be the backup quarterback there, but we'll see.
Oh, definitely. I don't see him not making this team.
Yeah, they'll definitely keep 3 quarterbacks at a minimum, but I think Peterman's going to be the starting quarterback. Oh, they also did. You haven't seen it. I'll probably film it on my TV and put it on Twitter or something like that. But they did a Gruden. You know how he always does the knock on wood if you're with me thing.
Yeah,
knock on wood. Yeah. They did a remix of that because they kept showing him do it. And then they started ripping Gruden audio, and I don't know if it was a Raiders fan did it and HBO picked it up, or if HBO just did the remix. But I was with it, man. I'm gonna put that on my Twitter so everybody sees it. I have the show. I don't have a screen grab software, so I'll have to actually just record it on my phone or something. But I'm gonna put that up on Twitter. I'm with it, man. That's my new theme song. I might actually use it as a show intro. Knock on wood with me. It's just
and how long is Frank Caliendo going to have legs?
How about that?
This guy, man. I'm like, yeah, where they dig him out from?
So we saw. I think after the first season, he must have just been so happy that that HBO, because then Knocks. He comes out, and I saw him on Instagram or Twitter or something, just posting the Gruden. He does a good Gruden impersonation, but then boom.
He's good.
Then they bring him in there, and he has 4 minutes of Gruden material, and he's just that's about it. So good for Caliendo, man.
It's almost so good that it's not that funny.
Yeah,
because it just sounds like if you just close your eyes, it just sounds like Gruden. I feel like if you're gonna make an impression, there has to be it has to be a little off, but close enough,
right,
to make it funny. When somebody's dead on, I'm like, all right, cool. It's not as impressive to me.
Speaking of impressions, this is completely off topic, but I was listening when I went to Canton for that Fantasy Football Expo and back. I was listening to Howard Stern on the way back, and Howard was talking about how Simon Cowell was willfully trying to push him off of America's Got Talent. And trying to basically say, I'll work for less and all this stuff. And so Howard Stern had a fake Simon Cowell call in, and it was just Howard Stern does not like Simon Cowell.
Right.
But that was a good thing, man. And then of course I start listening to Howard Stern. I finally get like all this stuff, and he's up for renewal, and he might not come back. So we might end up losing him. But
nah, he'll come back. He does this all the time.
Yeah, I know. He'll probably come back for like, I think he has a couple of like quality of life things, but I think he'll come back. I mean, like, why? If you're Howard Stern, I don't see why you wouldn't, like, maybe he'd want to start working later in the day, but like, why would you just want to not hang out with those people anymore? He obviously enjoys the company, you know. It's not like it's not like he and Robin are like Paul McCartney and John Lennon, you know. They're gonna, you know, he likes talking to her. They're like good friends and stuff, and that's really what the show is now. Is they're just kind of talking back and forth. So I think he'll kind of keep it going, but you know, he'll probably have
paid ridiculous, and
at that point it doesn't matter anymore. I don't know how much money he's worth.
It doesn't. But I'm saying, like, he can pretty much make his own schedule. He gets paid really well. What's he gonna do? He's somebody that's got to do something. I mean, I don't think he hates vacations. He hates stuff like that. He won't. Yeah, like he doesn't like going and like relaxing. Like he's just like a curmudgeon. So like, I mean, what else is he really gonna do? Like play with his cats all day? Like.
Yeah, I mean, I guess he's water painting. And so he said, like, one of the things I heard.
It's so weird now.
Yeah, he's like, he said
Fart
that.
Man's water painting.
I know. And he said that, like, his instructor said that if he gives it 5 more years, he could be considered a master painter. And he's like, you know, he's like, I feel like I've mastered this. He's like, I feel like if I master painting, he's like, how many people can say they've mastered 2 things in their lives? Like, I've done the radio thing, I'm doing this, but if I can do that, he's like, then I'll feel like, you know, some sense of like pride and actually be considered a master in 2 pursuits. And I was like, yeah, that's an interesting thing.
I get it, but art's so subjective. Like, I mean, how can you really say you're a master at anything in art? You know, I mean, some people just, you know, Jackson Pollock just threw shit on a canvas, and people, you know, go crazy for his stuff. But, you know, if I do that, it's not gonna, you know, they can look identical.
I know.
Am I a master painter? No, it's just there's a name and a mystique behind Jackson Pollock than not one with the Sam Van Dam.
Have you ever seen Sam? Have you ever seen the drill attachment that mixes paint? So you put this thing in there, and it's like a circle, and you turn your drill on it and it mixes paint.
Yeah.
Well, I have one of those, and so I had these huge canvases that I was gonna decorate my office with. I ended up not liking them. So what I did was I bought because our house is blue, or I'm sorry, it's gray. So I bought a bunch of like blue and teal paint and put that mixer thing in there, and then just turned a drill on, and it spun it around in like these spirals and everything. It looks like a Jackson Pollock painting, but almost like like with some pattern to it. It's like probably like my favorite like thing that I've ever done, and so like it's decorated the house. I'll have to send you a picture of that. It's pretty sick, man.
Right.
Just that, but you said that's art, man. It took me 10 minutes to do, and everybody's like, "Oh, wow, that's so good. What'd you do?" I was like, "Yeah, it was a drill in about 10 minutes." That's why I don't buy art. I don't buy art. I refuse to, because it's so easy.
I loved art, and I was considering art as a minor, in school, but like, it is just so subjective, and that's why I get we're on a sports show. What are we talking about? Like, I feel like we're talking about hurricanes and art.
Yeah, you're right.
I had to stop myself there.
Yeah, all right.
I know we have other shit to get to.